I've been dealing with that my entire life. I'm a white boy, and I'm jacked. Deal with it.
Brock Lesnar was recruited to the WWF while he was still a collegiate wrestler. WWF executives Gerald Briscoe and Jim Ross saw the massive potential in the NCAA heavyweight champion, who is already 260 pounds plus, with incredible speed and agility. Lesnar, who didn't follow the industry, and wasn't really a fan, was offered big money to sign for WWF's developmental territory, OVW. It was reported that Lesnar made several times more per week than any other performer in the territory. It was clear to anybody watching that this guy is going to get every opportunity to succeed due to his look and athletic, marketing potential. In January 2001, Lesnar was arrested after receiving a package which allegedly contained large amounts of growth hormone. According to OVW General Manager Jim Cornette, Brock ordered steroids from a pharmacy that was under federal investigation, and was arrested when he went to pick it up. After 2 years of learning the basic fundamentals of the work, Lesnar was brought up to the main roster in March 2002 alongside Paul Heyman, who saw Brock as a potential political ally, thus giving himself more power in the company if Brock cements himself as a money player. The WWF talent roster at the time was the greatest and deepest roster in wrestling history, full of megastars and political sharks. Heyman's job was to navigate in the backstage backlash. In addition to hyping him up on television as the future star, the chemistry was immediate. Brock, now close to 300 pounds, the biggest he has ever been, was put over by almost all the all-time legends of the industry, leading to a passing of the torch match with face of the company, Dwayne Johnson. Rock, who saw him as a future superstar, planned a big pay-per-view event, invited the rookie to stay at his house, and gave him important political advice that, according to Brock, he never forgot. After 2 years in the company, Brock, mentally exhausted from the road schedule, left the business to pursue an NFL career, and eventually found his place in MMA. Dana White, like Vince McMahon 7 years earlier, saw the massive marketing potential in Brock, signed him to a big money deal. A move that would prove to be a game-changer for the entire sport, as Brock became the biggest pay-per-view draw in the history of MMA. Brock dropped significant weight in his MMA career, not only to improve stamina, but to make the 260 pounds weight limit in his division. UFC, despite having a drug testing policy, was allowing fighters to use testosterone replacement therapy, which led to obvious drug abuse, with a large percentage of fighters beating the tests with relative ease. Brock came back to WWE in 2012. Between 2013 to 2015, he put on noticeable amount of muscle mass, getting close to his original wrestling weight, if not surpassing it. WWE, despite having a stricter drug testing policy than in the past, wasn't testing part-time performers like Lesnar. And even full-time workers were getting past it. Lesnar returned to MMA in 2016 for the big UFC 200 pay-per-view. UFC, now with supposedly the strictest testing policy in the world, working with the US Anti-Doping Agency. Big changes to the physique were expected to come, as under the new policy, fighters must inform the company that they're entering the testing pool, making them available for tests at any time for 4 months before being eligible to fight. Lesnar was mysteriously given a waiver by the agency, and was looking as big as before on fight night, leading to strong speculation that the UFC bypassed their policy to get a big pay-per-view out of him. Shortly after the fight, Brock was informed that he failed 2 drug tests, and was suspended for a year. Lesnar still got his payday, Dana White still got his big pay-per-view. In the process, making a complete mockery of the entire policy. In 2018, after signing a new contract with WWE, Brock again planned a UFC comeback. This time, due to past controversy, was going through the usual process, entering the testing pool in July 2018. This time, the change was dramatic, as Brock looked noticeably smaller, and softer than his usual look. The comeback didn't materialize. Lesnar signed a new contract with McMahon, and regained most of his size back in the next year.